Hi guys, this is Jocelyn Drake and welcome to day 7. We have been an entire week on this journey, and if you're like me, you're excited about it. You see some change. I'm absolutely certain that you see some change, and thank you for taking the journey. Thank you for caring about yourself and knowing that you can make the changes. Like if you got yourself into it, the same person that got themselves into it can get themselves out. Sometimes you just need a little help, and I'm glad to be there to assist you and begin to ask you some questions to make you think and to ponder about, like, how am I here, why am I here, and how do I get out of that place. And I'm excited about 2021 for a lot of us. A lot of us are in these situations and places. We may have lost our jobs and we're trying to figure out, like, what is next. For some of us, we're called to be entrepreneurs, and our business is actually who we are. So the better we are, the better the business, the better the family, the better everything in our lives. So I'm excited you're taking the time to say, I've got to do something different. I cannot keep on doing the same thing and expecting a different result because it never happens. We've got to think differently. We've got to do some things differently, some things we've never done before. They're uncomfortable. It doesn't make sense. Everything in your flesh is screaming, no, it's uncomfortable. But nevertheless, we will be better for it when we make those changes. So we're on day 7, and I love this chapter. It's talking about dear younger me. Dear younger me, what would I say to the 11-year-old Jocelyn? What would I say to the 5-year-old Jocelyn? What would I say to this 22-year-old Jocelyn? What would I say to the 37-year-old Jocelyn? What would I say to the 40-year-old Jocelyn? And so these are the questions that you would ask yourself when we look back over our lives, especially at some pivotal times, some very hard times, some very bad decisions that we may have made. What would we have told that individual? What would we have told that version of ourselves? Girl, you're going to make it. It's not as bad as it seems. It gets better with time. Um, just all of these gamut of emotions. So begin to think back at some very pivotal points in our lives, some very things, controversial places, some very hard, traumatic places in our lives, and think about the decisions that we made in those points, in those places, how we never thought that, I could get over. And in fact, those places are still running us today. You know, uh, our younger selves today is really for a lot of us running our lives. And as adults, there is just no way we can win with a child running our lives. We're 50 years old, we're 60 years old, but yet that 12-year-old girl, that 15-year-old boy is running rampant in our lives, and they're making all the decisions, and they're making immature decisions that keep us in these low places, that keeps us uh, in these circles. Why? Because we're afraid. Why? Because it's a defense mechanism when we have all of these emotional things that we don't want to release or we're scared to address. But if we would just have the courage to just deal with the issue, yeah, it hurts, and yeah, it's difficult, and yeah, it's not pretty, but if we will, it will allow us to move forward. So I'm excited about this particular question on today when we talk about the dear younger me. The dear younger John at age 7, the one that may have been violated, the dear younger Jane at age 13, who lost her virginity. Just all of these types of things that we go through in our lives. The dear young Sue, who got divorced at age 27 when you thought that you would be with him for the rest of your life. What do you tell her? What would you say to her today? It is a very powerful, powerful question for us in order to win and to move forward. Because as long as you're living, the best is in front of you. Make no mistake about it. Your best life is in front of you, but we have to choose to show up. We can't show up with our old selves. We've got to make some new adjustments and become a better version of who we are today. And so I'm going to read our question on today for dear younger me. What traumas have you experienced in your life that the younger version of you has not healed from? That's powerful, guys. What traumas have you experienced in your life that the younger version of you has not healed from? That you may sit with for an hour. And we all can do the same thing. I've been through this book, I cannot tell you how many times, but we are onions. Our souls are like onions. There's always something to peel back, always something to deal with. If we're willing to do the work, we always rise to another us, another person that we never knew was there, with greater capacity, with greater creativity, ready to take on the world, can stand with a greater weight, with people holding on to standing on their shoulders rather than them standing on other people's shoulder. We take responsibility. We know how to have hard conversations. We know how to respect people. We know how to love people regardless. And so when we can ask these questions and answer them with truth, integrity, transparency, and honesty, then we can move forward. I'm excited about ending this first week with you all. I know it has been amazing, hard, yes, but you're better for it. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video of day 8. Have an amazing day. God bless you.